Hey YouTube, I talk a lot about, how fun it is to do things around here, but I also want to make sure that I cover, the not so fun things. And today's one of them. It's something that's unplanned, but in order to keep everything growing here and coming up and putting new things in, I have to be a regular cleaner. And I'm not a complainer about cleaning. I was trained well since I was young how to clean. But on the scale that I do, it requires, a big setup, a nice sunny day, and let's see here, the right equipment. I like to use a broom here to stir things around in a big old bucket that was full of water with bleach. Probably put at least a cup and a half of bleach in here, and filled this about 3/4 of the way full, and I did a pre-rinse first here, so I've got the space to be able to do it. And again, this is more of a warning that as you get everything done and you get ready for new things, because everything goes in a circle around here, because we go from starting to seed to taking them out and transplanting them as seedlings into the plastic cups, and then from there they go into the ground. And I'll give a little example of why we continue to do this. And I think just one plant here that's new says it all. So this parsley here is just a couple days old and has been constantly wet out here, drizzly rain, a couple of days. And I'll come in and I'm going to pinch off these little middle leaves, so this will branch out even further. Like I did here, it kind of stops and forces growth. Take out that little middle leaf and see how it branches out, especially down below here. And I'm going to have one. I haven't had salad yet today. Parsley is a big player in the salads for me, and my family too. We all love it. Tastes great. Good for you. Keep some of the bugs away from some of your favorite plants. So we have a whole bunch of different plants started in here. Well, what you see coming up really is just the winter rye right now. The radish are still young. They'll be coming up next. And these peas are starting to pop a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. Won't be long. Moving on over. We've got potatoes coming up. Okay, but specifically thinking about the transplants, a lot of the lettuces have gone into the ground, and as you can see, they go from cup, and you saw from the other one how they go directly into the ground. There's a parsley I planted just the other night in between a couple of gooseberry here. And growing in with the strawberries are more of this butter crunch lettuce. Now my wife was saying, all the bugs are going to come in and eat it. You see that we're getting a little bit of snail activity here, but it's been an onslaught of wet weather. And although it doesn't look like it, all during the night when it's dark and wet, the slimy snails all creep along up here just like a silent army, and they move forward and into munch land here. But I planted parsley. I'll plant more. I planted a lot of garlic. Got some elephant garlic there to protect the strawberries right now. And as I told my wife, if they leave the strawberries alone for now while they're continuing to grow and get strong and produce, then they can munch on these leaves that are still young and soft for them. And when the weather gets a little drier and hotter, it'll be easier to trap the bugs. If we choose to do that, we'll see. We did last year. It's easy to do. Dig a little hole, put in a cup. But I don't like to waste my beer. So, people swear by the beer method, but I need to think of a more freer way of doing that. But again, the goal is we'll have strawberries coming up here in another 6 weeks probably. Okay? So just a little more on the transplanting. More strawberries coming up in here. That's where all the cuttings are coming along, and more strawberries, more potatoes, all on less than 1/3 of an acre. This is a parsley I put in here a week ago now. I've got to come in and thin this out a little bit. And so the way this faces south and east, I want to, kind of cut them in and make a path for the sun to come right down in here. And so I'll come in and snip in here later for that. In the meantime, we'll try this parsley. It's planted in different soil. Yeah. Oh yeah. Nope. We got some nice parsley. It's a different flavor than what's over there. I don't know if it's due to the soil, but the soil here has been in place for several years and, always composted and improved. Oh, radish growing around, carrots coming up in the middle, we'll see. Same thing here. And again, another transplant. This cilantro I actually transplanted from the Cracky hydroponic system. So I want to see if I can at least maybe get this to go to seed. And I really like to harvest my own cilantro seed for a change, and I need a bunch of them. Because this is a great plant to have. And then, it takes time, but finally, after maybe, I have to go back and look, 4 or 5 years, this blueberry's coming into fro. Started way down here, now it's coming up here. Now I can get more sunlight. And looks like, blueberries this year out of this one, first time. Okay, so, again, I guess that's more of the motivating stuff than it is of the work involved, because when you do come out, you have to dig in here, and you don't want anybody to come in and eat your goodness. But I don't use pesticides, because working around here, and there's no bugs on here right now, so they come in, whatever. There's no pesticides. There's just grown in the ground. This is actually very sandy soil, and I got to work all day, and I like to come around here and munch at any time. That's really delicious, that butter crunch lettuce. You really got to try to find some seeds today. If I can, I'll put a link into the description. So, as we want to go ahead and grow and produce and retrieve items from the yard, it still requires, because it's only April still, a constant influx of new plants to be going out there to take up all those empty spaces you saw. And as you see here, we'll have some flowers coming up next, basil, but of course more lettuce, because it's just so delicious. A number of new seedlings still underway that'll be transferred to here. Then these will move up and go outside, and we got hot peppers now, more basil, more lettuces, flowers like Love Lies Bleeding and Marigold, and tomatoes are coming online now. So that's seems like a lot of fun, but it's multi-process, and I just want to make sure that the warning is fair and noticeable. And even though you want to take the day off and goof off and relax and get around to stuff, ain't no fun stuff till the chores are done and you play the right tunes. Alright, getting stuff like this done doesn't seem like such a bad thing after all. The sun's shining, and I'm just very fortunate that, I think I know how to make a mess, obviously, as you can see, but I know how to clean it up too eventually and make things look nice together. So, like, subscribe, share your comments, and critiques, whatever it takes. There you go. So, as you think that it's just more fun eating, it's work But you got to make the work fun too, and it can be. And who cares? And you get a little bit wet. It's getting warm out. Grapes are coming online again. Yay, grapes are coming, but I got to be more vigilant this year and make sure I apply the protection they require ahead of black rot. And the beet keeps moving. Get prepared.